right, capybaras, welcome back to another episode of The Lone Roller. It's I, your host, your player, your game master, all rolled up into one. I'm Leon Andrews. What's up? What's going on? What's going on? Yeah, thanks for coming back. I appreciate that. So this is episode 5. Some bookkeeping things before we get in, but the last thing that happened in the last episode was that Talti was taken prisoner, but was on the way over. He was stopped, and another guy ended up taking the portsman away, and then taking over, and then leading that guard, quote unquote, ended up moving Talti somewhere else in an interrogation room, or blah blah blah, and then turned out to be someone that was there to help him. We don't know the nature. We just know that he's there to help Talti. We don't know who's paying him, who's leading him, or etc. But he's there to help, and Talti took the help immediately to escape and to rescue Khayrha, and at the same time take Khayrha back, because he is a pretty lawful person. We do see that he has a bit of a good side to him. He did want to help out Khayrha and her family. So the thread that we're going through is to reach Khayrha's contact, and from Khayrha's contact, move into rescuing her family from imminent threat of the people who originally blackmailed her, because it was found out that she was a part of a rebellion that got her in loads of trouble. Just loads of trouble. Bookkeeping things, the chaos factor, because of the way things went, it went down to 5. Talti was in control, and I would say the fates were in his favor. So I went down from 6 to 5, and then we added a new character, which is Prayuh, and we're going to now go into the next scene. The scene of them on Prayuh's ship as they're going towards to reach Khayrha's contact. So, first things first, we test the scene. If the number is equal to or lower than the chaos factor, which is 5, the scene is altered or interrupted. 6, the scene proceeds as normal. The scene opens up with them on almost on a shorter travel than what was originally on the shuttle that they were taking. Talti, Prayuh, and Khayrha. Khayrha in another room, recovering on a machine. Prayuh is piloting his ship. He has it set to autopilot, which gives him less than a half a day's travel. We're talking about maybe 4 hours in a spike drive down into where they need to go. So what we're going to do is go like this. Talti and Prayuh are sitting in the cockpit. Talti turns and looks over to Prayuh. You haven't told me who's paying you to do this. Why are you helping me? Prayuh returns the look back over to Talti. Does he reveal that information? Let's roll on that. Does Prayuh reveal the information? I'm going to call that 50-50, chaos factor 5, 64. That is a no. Prayuh shakes his head and says, Talti, I get it. You want to know what's happening. You want to know who's trying to help you. But it is to protect the identity of the person who's paying me. It is someone that wants to help you. So just understand, I'm here for you, to help you out. So either way, I'm still getting paid. Talti nods his head. I understand. Prayuh looks at him and says, "Hey, don't take it hard. I'm sure the guy that's paying me will reveal themselves to you at some point." They both nod at each other. So, Talti as they're flying, Praya looks over at Talti and asks, "So this thing that's supposed to bring what? Some sort of safety, security to your star sector?" Talti looks over at him. Is Talti gonna reveal that information to him? Ooh. At this point, I'm gonna call that unlikely. 37 unlikely. 30. Yeah, it's a no. Talti shakes his head back and says, "No, Praya. You don't tell me what your business is, and I won't tell you what my business is. Not at this moment. The most important thing right now, Praya, is to get into contact with Khayrha's contact so that we can help her and her family out." The ship keeps on going as both Praya and Talti sit in just awkward silence. So, what do they come to? Do they come to a space station, or do they come to a star or moon? I think a contact that is a part of a rebellion would be on the planet somewhere. So Talti walks over to Khayrha and asks, and is she awake? Let's ask that. Is she conscious? We're going to call that she's 50-50. 46. In like Flynn. Yes, so she is awake. She is conscious. She is a little weak, though. "Khayrha, how are you doing?" She responds, "I've seen better days. Talti, I've seen better days." "I completely understand. We're heading towards your contact. Where are they located?" She holds out a hand, asking for parchment and a pen. Talti, finding what he can, gives it to her, and she writes down the coordinates and hands it back to him. She says, "That's where my contact is located. Is it safe?" Is it safe? Call it unlikely. 21. It is safe. Unlikely, it is safe. Khayrha nods her head and says, You'll be fine. Just be very mindful on how you talk to him." Talti says, "Thank you, Khayrha. Save my family, please. I will do my best for you. I will do my best for them. We'll make contact with him, and we'll go from there. We have Praya on our side. He seems to be capable of helping out." "Who is he?" Talti replies, "I don't know yet. At this moment, he is a friend. And this is all the friend I can get. For it seems I'm a wanted criminal now. And things have kind of gone bugger up on my part. A kerfuffle, if you will." Khayrha says, "I understand. I need rest now." "I completely understand, Khayrha." And then Talti exchanges his goodbyes, letting Khayrha rest, and goes back into awkward silence with Praya. On the way towards the location, is anything coming up that could cause a bit of an issue? Nothing too big. Let's just ask, is there something out there that will cause traveling to be a little bit an issue? Let's call it 50-50. I like rolling these dice. 78. No, everything proceeds as normal as they go to Khayrha's planet down. Talti has given the coordinates. He punches it in, as he's approaching the planet, there is a comm line that opens up. Oh, we should come up with a name for this planet. So they come to the planet Sayan-yobu. At Sayan-yobu, a comm line opens up to Prayuh to answer. It comes in. You're coming into Sayan-yobu airspace. What brings you by? Prayuh looks at him. We're here on business. What kind of business? What kind of business are we on, Talti? Talti holds up his hand. We're on a diplomatic mission. Yeah, we're on a diplomatic mission. We're here just to help out and diplomat things. All right, call that 8. Skill check 8. It's a 4. Okay, yeah, we stand by. We're sending someone over. Do not land. You are not clear for landing. Please stand by as we're having officers come over there. And it cuts out. Talti and Prayuh are just face palming. No, that is not going as planned. Yeah, tell me about it. So what do we do? We'll handle this we'll handle this the best way that we can. We'll just be, as I am, a diplomat. We're dressed in uniforms. We look the part, don't we? Prayuh's, yeah, I guess. As the officers come in, they are able to open up a airway to come in, sort of like a bridge. They request. Prayuh abides, and there's a sort of a connection point that allows them to meet in the middle, ship to ship. All right, this officer comes in. He's just, let's roll on what his character description is like. Is it 2 officers? 50-50? Yes, it is 2 officers. So let's just give more of an identity to one of them at the moment. So character descriptors. $41. Difficult. Oh, fun. Difficult, abnormal. So this one officer comes in, and he's already got this look on his face of his face is just absolutely scrunched, and they can tell, both Talti and Prayuh can tell right off the bat that this guy is not going to be that easy to talk to. They're just getting that general vibe. Matter of fact, let's go ahead and just roll on that. Talti rolled a 9, and Prayuh rolled a 9 as well. Yeah, they can pick up that this guy is going to be a little bit difficult to talk to. The other one, 43, disagreeable. 91, supportive. He's disagreeable, but supportive. So he's going to disagree. We're going to have him disagree with what the officer 1 says, but in support of what happens with Talti and Prayuh. I love that. Let's play out this scene. The first officer. Hello, my name is Officer Yant. So what brings you by? You're on a diplomatic mission of some kind, but I don't buy it. What is your real reason here? Talti and Prayuh look at each other. Talti speaks up. Well, we're here to help out against the rebellion. We're gonna roll on that. Oh no. That cop immediately shakes his head. The rebellion is being handled. You don't need to be here. You could just turn back around the way you came. But we can't do that. What do you mean you can't do that? Take a ship and turn back out. It's not that difficult. Talti goes back. Please, Officer Yant. We're just here to help. help in any way that we can. Please. He looks at the other officer. What's your name, sir? The other officer says, Officer Beats. Janssen Beats. The names just came to me. Officer Beats is what they called me. Officer Beats, please, you have to understand that we are here to help you. We are specially trained officers of the highest caliber, trained at the organization that deals with galactic security. We are here to help out your star system. End this rebellion now. Isn't that something that you would both want? Talti rolls a 10. Officer B goes, Jans, they seem harmless. I think we should let them in. You want me to let them in? Is that what you want to do? I think yes. I think it's a very simple thing to do. It's a very simple thing. We let them in. What's the big deal about it? I don't know. He sounded Scottish and now he sounds Italian. You know the voices. The other one's he's more rough talking. Yeah. Jans, just fine. But if you stayed here on my planet, understand this. We put tracking on you to taunt you now. They go in and they put in a software so they can see where they're going. Pryor's like, Talti's his friend. Just calm down. Let them do their business. It's what they have to do. It's all in the name of the security, right? Jans grunts agreeably. They get the clearance to land, but now they have a security thing on them. As they land, they come in and go and visit Khayrha on the planet assigned Yamba. Khayrha, you know this planet better than anyone else. We did not get the chance to land. We were almost denied. We barely made it by the skin of our teeth into landing at a port. Is there any way that we can get to your contact from here? Is there a way for them to get there? I am going to call that likely. 68 is a no. She shakes her head. Talti, the way security is here, it's going to be very tough for you to get across. You're going to have to sneak at the dead of night. It's the only way to make this easier on you. Talti rubs his head. Makes sense. So, what do we do now? Pryor says, I'm sure there's a bar around that we can go to. I guess a tavern it is. Pryor, you can go off and we will wait here. So, a few hours go by as they wait for sunset. And I'm going to call that the end of that scene. The beginning of this scene is now Talti is waiting. And I'm going to say there was more control. Oh, let's do this. There was a little bit more control in this scene. So we're going to bring the chaos factor down to 4. So we're going to bring the chaos factor down to 4, and now the new scene plays out. Is the scene interrupted, or it proceeds as normal? 7. It proceeds as normal. It is now nightfall at this port of Sanyamu. Khayrha is still awake. She's conscious. She's a little bit... Is she a little bit better off now than she was before? We're going to call that 50-50. 17. She is. Great. So she is a little bit more recovered, and she can move around a little bit, but she's still limited to being attached to the device that she is attached to, or that she's connected to. But now in the dead of night, they are going to now sneak. Is it possible for Khayrha to even come with them? or for staying on the ship. We're going to call that 50-50 as well. She is connected to a device. It does seem... Now, I'm going to go ahead and call that unlikely. Unlikely for her to come. 87. Wow. We were 2 numbers away from an exceptional no. So, no, she can't. She has to stay on the ship. That's just the way it is. Oh, wait. We're on a chaos factor 4. That's right. Yeah, it's an exceptional no. No, because if she moves, something dire will happen to her. Now, the question is, Prayuh. He comes... So, now, it's not even going to be a question. Prayuh just comes back and says, so, are we ready to go? Is it possible to sneak somewhere? And he kind of eyebrows bounce playfully. Talti cocks his head and says, what do you know, Prayuh? What does he know? Does he know a way for them to sneak? We're going to call that, being this person that he is, I'm going to call that very likely Chaos Factor 4. 7. Exceptional, yes. Yes, he knows a way to sneak with proper transportation of a contact that he met at the tavern. Prayuh looks at Talti and Khayrha's like, you should have came drinking with me. I made a very good friend that's going to help us out, get where we need to get. Talti, what? Who is it? You'll find out when you find out. Come along with me, he says. Oh, God, this guy is kind of a tool, but I love him. So they go and they meet with this person, and it's just someone that he met that says, hey, this is the guy I said. We're going over to this all the way on the other side. Not on the other side of this area. We're meeting with a contact of the highest order, a very important person, if you will. The person goes, yeah, I'll give you a ride. There's no problem at all. All right. So they make their way, driving in the dead of night, going past all the security, and without any issues whatsoever, to get to this location. In the location, it is supposed to be kind of hidden. It is a rebellion, but is it a facade of some kind? What is it? What is the nature of the thing that they find, or they're going to? Well, we already know what it is, really. Let's give it more of a descriptor. Actually, no, I'm sorry. Let's roll on... I do love rolling, guys. I told you, I started this whole show so I can keep rolling dice. That's literally the whole reason why I did this thing. All right, civilization. I rolled a 65. Oh, militaristic. Ugh. 48. Militaristic free. So they are almost a fascist state, but a fascist state for those who are in the higher class. Those people are, the military is free to do what they want. It's almost like fascist-like government or fascist-like structure. And so because of that, the rebellion has to stay hidden in different areas. So where they go, they are... I kind of want to know, like, is this more of a lush planet or a desert planet? How believe we have a way of determining the planets here. Let's do it. So it is a world that is perpetually always at night, and at the same time, the temperature is always variably cold. So they are dressed for the occasion. They are dressed for the area. So I kind of imagine some places are a little bit frostier than other places. So is there a way, I'm going to call this very likely, is the planet or is the hidden base of the rebellion, is it hidden in a more frostier type of mountain? I like that question. So we're going to call that very likely. 61 is an, I'm very sure is yes. Let me double check. Onyx Chaos Sector 4. Very likely, yes. It is a base hidden inside inside a very frosty looking mountain. Hidden within. Is it guarded? Are there patrols going around? Oh yeah, I'm gonna call that nearly certain. 21. Yes, it is guarded. There are guards out there spread and hidden across, and they are spotting them, and they're communicating unbeknownst to Talti and Prayuh that they are with their escort being monitored as they are heading towards that, and they're communicating back and forth, letting them know that there is a vehicle, an unknown vehicle they've never seen before, on the way to it. So now the question is, did Khayrha, and I will say this is nearly certain, did Khayrha give them something that is a way for them to show that they are friendly at some point? I'm going to call that nearly certain, and then I'm going to ask the next question. 16, nearly certain, is a yes. Nearly certain on this one, Chaos Factor 4. Do they let them go, or do they ambush them? I am call that, I'm not going to call that nearly certain. We're going to take that down. The probability is very likely. Are they going to ambush them? 82. They communicate to one another and saying, nope, let them go. We're going to keep monitoring them as they go forward and see what they are trying to do. At that point, they're going to see where they pull up to and handle it from there. As Talti's escort is pulling forward and keeps driving the vehicle, their transport, all the way to this hidden rebellion base that's hidden on the frosty mountains of Sayanyabu. And there, they come along. Is there a blockade? Call that nearly certain. 84. No, there isn't a blockade, but there is someone there. Oh, no. Let's back that up. So they proceed as normal when they come in. The driver says he'll wait. Actually, does the driver wait? I'm asking a lot of questions. So the driver says, this is as far as I'm going to go, and I'm going to leave. I know I gave him a voice, but I can't remember what it was. Like, oh yeah, I drive you. And then I'm going to go to back. And he does. He just bolts out. Is there a hidden doorway somewhere? Can they spot that? Let's give them a knowledge roll or a notice roll. Talti immediately can see within the frosty snow the outline of something that, if brushed away, reveals a door. Khayrha gave them something that will let them know that they're friendly. We're going to call that a certain way. I like this. There is a keypad, and the keypad is not your regular number pad. It almost looks like a makeshift instrument, like a MIDI controller. And then Talti looks at it, recognizing the notes that she gave him, comparing it in a pattern that makes this music, this little tune. And in that tune, it opens up the door. There, greeting them, are a number of armed men, and they are looking dead-eye at Talti and Prayuh. Pistols and rifles, all trained at them. And and they're all going, hands on your head, hands on your head! Talti goes, of course this is gonna happen. And that's it! That is the end of our scene and the end of this episode. You got 2 scenes for 1 because the way things played out, it just made it so. So that is going to do it. What is going to happen on the next episode of The Lone Roller? Well, you're going to have to tune in to find out. Thanks so much for listening, Capybaras.